called Forgive to Live, is my title. And that's very, very intentional. It's not forgive just to survive. It's not forgive just to exist. I remember my beloved first minister of religious science, Dr. Peggy Bassett, used to say all the time, you are not a mere human being put on this planet just to struggle. And I really took that in a long, long time ago. We're not here just to exist. We're not here just to survive. Although we live out in the world and it looks like that's how a lot of people are living. But that is not, I don't believe, the goal. The goal is to live and to thrive. So Jennifer just sang this beautiful song by Karen Drucker about forgiveness. And that was the very human part of forgiveness. Yes, I forgive you. Will you forgive me? Scream if you need to scream. Cry if you need to cry. But don't close your heart down. So many people are afraid to have that kind of edgy dialogue, but really the worst thing is indifference. Being closed off is worse than just get angry and say, I'm sorry, forgive me. That whole thing, it's so human, and it sounds so simple, but it is not always easy, yet it is very necessary, because forgiveness is the pathway that allows us to free ourselves from resentment and regret. Notice which word I have underlined and bolded. Ourselves. Forgiveness is the pathway. So if you can visualize that right now, it's the pathway. It's not just an event and it's not just a one and done. It's the pathway which we're walking probably forever. At least here on the earth we are. I don't know what forgiveness looks like next, but on this pathway, forgiveness is the pathway that allows us to free ourselves from resentment and regret. Forgiveness, in my experience, and probably yours too, is letting go again and again and again and again and again all day long, really. It's not just the great big things that happen to us, maybe when we were children. It's not just the things that are deep wounds. It's the little everyday things. Really, it doesn't matter about the size at this point. It's just something to think about and to be aware about. Letting go of the little irritations, letting go of the little frustrations, letting go of the little misunderstandings all day long. That's what the pathway is to me. It's, oh, this person said that and I really didn't understand what they meant, and so I can either go clarify it, so I can let it go, or I can stew it. Little things along the pathway, all the little irritations, we all have them all day long. So learning to let go as we go, rather than, oh, now I have this big amount of resentment that I'm going to dump on you. Let them go. I mean, when people come to me and they like dump stuff, I'll say, you know, I really would have loved it if you would have come to me in the first one or two. Come to me, tell me when it's just a little thing. Now it's built up. I laugh because I used to do that. I used to be the one who would just hold on to it. I think I was forgiving. Okay, I'm just going to let that go. Easier said than done. That's what I said. It's simple, but it's not always easy, but it's necessary. And I would be the one who would sometimes just dump a bunch of stuff all over somebody because I was too afraid to say the little thing. And so Karen Drucker's song that Jennifer said, and this pathway idea, is letting go of the little things all day long. Our society holds a lot, in my opinion, a lot of erroneous ideas about forgiveness and what it means. Such as believing that it means we're condoning bad behavior, or such as believing that hurtful treatment was okay. It wasn't okay, and those are erroneous ideas. Also, society tends to look at forgiveness. I'm talking about society. Now, you got to make your mind bigger beyond Harmony Center, because I know we already have moved along that pathway. But society tends to view forgiveness as weakness. It tends to view forgiveness as backing down. What if it is actually the boldest, most badass thing that you can do? What if it takes the most courage and bravery of all the things that you do? Let's transform the idea of I'm going to forgive, that means I'm weak and I'm backing down, to I'm a warrior. It is, I like saying it that way. It is the boldest, most badass thing you can do, is to forgive and to let go. What if it is the healthiest mental and emotional mindset that we can carry? So we begin to transform what it even means to forgive. We have this at our disposal. We have this mindset of letting go, releasing, forgiving. We have it within us to do so. We have it right here at our disposal. The question is, are we remembering to use it on a daily basis? Little tiny things. Now I want to say how important it is to hold ourselves and other people accountable. Absolutely. Accountability, yes. It's not condoning bad behavior. We already got that clear. Accountability, yes. Condemnation, no. Do you feel the difference? It seems, as I walk the world, it seems like that's a really hard thing for humans to do. It seems like we're either one extreme or the other. I'm either going to condemn you and I'm going to judge you and I'm going to stay angry at you, or I'm going to be a doormat. And I think the best of both worlds is to bring them together. Yes, accountability, starting with myself, but not condemning, starting with myself, and then offering that to others. You know, sometimes people will come up and maybe they said something to you that was unintentionally hurtful, maybe intentionally hurtful. But they come up to you and they say, I'm sorry, and you go, oh no, it's okay. No, it isn't. What I'm saying is that it's not okay, but that's the response, right? Oh, it's okay. How about this instead? Somebody walks up and they say, I'm sorry, and you say, thank you. You've acknowledged that they are coming to you. They may not say, please forgive me. They may just say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. You feel the shift? Oh, it's okay. No. Thank you so much. That way it's really clean. It's that realm of not condemning. Accountability, yes. Condemnation, no. So forgiveness does not require reconnection. So let's go to the next one. Forgiveness does not require reconnection. What do I mean? Okay, so here's another one of those erroneous ideas. People think that if I forgive, if I let go, then that means I've invited the person back into my life. But it doesn't. So we're releasing so many old ideas here. We're releasing weakness, we're releasing condemnation, we're releasing the idea that it means you have to be back in the person's presence, because you don't. So the thing that I go to a lot is the really big hurts right here. Okay, so when I'm working with people who have been abused in any way, shape, or form, when we talk about forgiveness, I usually see resistance. Right? So if you're talking to somebody who's very, very tender because they've been severely abused, and especially if it's childhood, because it gets stuck, I say, let's talk about forgiveness. Like, okay, let's reframe it first of all, and I talk to them about these things that we're talking about today. Let's reframe it. But I'm very quick to remind people, I'm not telling you you have to go back and be in that person's life. I'm not telling you you have to walk up to that person and say, okay, you really hurt me bad, but I'm going to... No. It's not what we're saying. It does not require reconnection. It does require us to do our healing work, to continue doing our healing work. I forgive you is not just a, I forgive you. It's, I forgive you. Oh, but that hurt again. And okay, I forgive you. I let it go. I'm going to let it go. I forgive myself for holding on to it for so long. There it goes. Oh, it hurt again. You just keep doing it. You just keep cleaning it out. I'm going to release it again. Yep, it hurt. Okay, I'm going to release it again. You know, and then pretty soon you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you keep doing it. One day you'll notice that the energy changes. It's starting to actually feel like it's true. But I'm still not going to go back in that person's presence. But I can feel when it rises, and I can feel when it hurts again. and I can say, I'm going to let it go again. I'm going to take myself off my own hook because I felt it again. You know, it's a process. You just keep going. A more modern day example is, you know, the debate about wearing masks out in public. There's a big debate going on. I happen to get a little irritated about it when people are out in public and they don't want to do that. It's like, you know, it's such a simple thing. But here's the thing. So I don't condone the behavior. People say, you can't make me wear a mask in the grocery store. I don't condone the behavior. And I don't choose to be near those people. You see, so it's not either or. It's, I can let it go, rather than saying, well, you're just an SOB, and you're just a blah, blah, blah. I can be mad, and I can get all irritated at that person, which I've done that too, to be perfectly honest, but that doesn't serve me. I'd rather let that go and say, okay, that's your opinion, and I don't agree with it. And I'm not going to put myself anywhere near you, you see? So that re-empowers ourselves as well. I'm re-empowered. I see that. I'm walking down the grocery store and I see somebody coming at me in the grocery store and they don't have a mask on. I turn around and I go down a different aisle. I don't have to be pissed off at the person. I can just go away. I don't have to connect. I don't have to engage. I don't have to be close. I can make a new choice. And who heals? I do. I heal. I feel better. I feel empowered. I feel like I've held myself accountable to not being in that person's presence. But I don't have to do it with condemnation. Take a deep breath, because this is where our power of choice comes in. Easier said than done. I'll say it again. I'll say it all day long. But we can think of all kinds of the big things in our life, and we can think of all kinds of little tiny things. I don't know about you, but for me, I want to go through my day feeling empowered the best I can. I want to go through my day feeling thriving, feeling alive. I don't want to go through my day feeling irritated all day long. I don't want to go through my day feel like I'm fighting and combating all day long. I don't want to go through life like that. So when I recognize that it's happened, stop. I see it. It's happened. What am I going to do? Totally depends on who the person is. If it's somebody that I love dearly, I may say, can we talk for a minute? You know, or I misunderstood that. Can we clean that up? If it's somebody like the grocery store example, I'm not going to have a conversation with that person. I'm just going to take care of me. Because I want to thrive. I want to live. So forgive to live means let it go. So you can feel good. Right? If you like the ego, arrogant, angry, then by all means keep it. If you like the way that feels, I don't like the way it feels at all. I like to feel joyful. It doesn't mean that the stuff doesn't come up. No, it does come up. But what are we going to do about it? So let me move now to our founder, Ernest Holmes. So he has this passage that is actually from the Bible, and it's his understanding of what Jesus said about divine forgiveness. He says, Jesus clearly explained the meaning of divine forgiveness. He says that we should forgive until 70 times 7. A whole bunch of times. This is just another way of saying that forgiveness is eternal. What a load is dropped from the shoulders of personal responsibility when we realize that the eternal mind holds nothing against anyone. The eternal mind holds nothing against anyone. But to those who feel that this is unfair, it will be a hard saying. What? Says one, are not my virtues to be rewarded above those who have none? Oh, foolish one and blind. What do you know about virtue? Has your life always been beyond reproach? Have you never fallen short of the divine calling? He's reminding us that forgiveness is a process, as I said, day by day, and it goes both ways. You know, when we get stuck in finger-pointing, blaming, we're not holding ourselves accountable for our peace in any situation, whatever it is. It may not have been something I even said. It may have just been a feeling that I had. But the minute I say, you made me feel, you know that story. It's, have I never been Above reproach? Well, of course. Have I never fallen short? Of course. The universe is not going to hold it against me, and it's not going to hold it against the other person. That's what Ernest Holmes says is the hard part. What? My virtues are better, so that person's... They're not. It's not going to happen that way. It doesn't work that way. So who are we then to go around acting all arrogant and self-righteous like that person should be punished? And I'm not talking about the law. That's a different thing. I'm talking about the day-to-day transgressions. The bottom line to me in this subject, forgive to live, is how do I want my day to go? How do I want to feel today? How do I want to feel throughout the day? So one of my favorite stories about this subject, about letting go, is the story of two monks who, in their particular monastery, they are not to touch a woman. And they're walking out in the woods, and they come across a river. And the river is a little higher than usual, and standing at the riverbank is a small woman. And the woman's hesitant to cross the river. And as the two monks approach, they too had to cross the river. So one of the monks just picks her up and walks across the river, puts her down on the other side of the riverbank. And the two monks walk, and they're chatting, and they walk, and they walk, and they walk. And finally the other monk says, I can't believe that you carried that woman across the water. You touched that woman. And the one who carried her said, Brother, I let her go clear back at the riverbank miles ago. Why are you still carrying her? Why are you still carrying her? There's where the bottom line, the rubber hits the road thing happens. So we can apply that to our lives. Why am I still carrying that? That might have happened when I was 5. Because it hurt. That's why. Because it hurt. Why am I still carrying that happened yesterday? Because it irritated me. Usually it's hurt, right? It's usually it hurt. Okay. All right, we admit it. But we don't close our heart down. As the song said, when our heart gets closed down, our heart is closed down. Nothing can come in or out when our heart is closed down. We don't want to live like that. We want to live open-hearted. So we've got to clean it up. Letting go, good way to clean it up. Talking to somebody so we can have accountability, so we can have clarity, really, really good. Not carrying it. I ask myself, and I ask you, do you want inner peace? Do you really want inner peace? Or we just talk about it as we talk about peace and we pray about peace. Do we really want inner peace? If you can say, yeah, I really want inner peace, then forgiveness, letting go, is one of the best tools to move us there. Because it's the old grudges that we hold on to that are usually the obstacles in our pathway. So yes, I want forgiveness, I want peace, I must forgive. It releases emotional congestion. It moves us forward on our pathway of evolution. It helps us move into our greater spiritual livingness. When we blame, we don't heal. When we forgive, we heal. Whether it's myself or whether it's other people. Some people say one must come first. I don't think so. Forgiveness is forgiveness is forgiveness is forgiveness. It doesn't matter which comes first. The mindset of letting go, whether it's myself or other people, is a spiritual principle, and it works. And the more we practice it, the more we engage in it, the more we experience, the better we get at doing it quicker. And then we don't have that big pile, that big dump that comes out later. We get much better at doing it. And lastly, forgiveness will help us to lighten up. You know, it lightens that load. Forgiveness is heavy. Forgiveness is dark. And so I don't know anybody better than this lady right here to let her have this final word. If you take yourself lightly and don't take yourself too seriously, pretty soon you can find the humor in our everyday lives. And sometimes it can be a lifesaver. Forgive to live. Forgive to thrive. Let's close our eyes. We turn within prayerfully. We drop in again. Not just the mind, but the mind-heart. The heart-mind. It's all one. It's all one. We breathe into that place that we would call our inner space, our center, the place again where we feel the presence of the Most High. We feel the presence of a source, a divine partner, God, whatever we want to call that. Feeling that deep in our being. Remembering that that's what we were created of, in image and likeness. In the image and likeness of love and givingness, of peace, of joy. All these qualities are ours naturally. In this moment, I recognize that for all of us, that these are our truths. And so even when we get bogged down in things that don't look like love and givingness, things that don't look peaceful and joyful, things that look more like irritation and holding a grudge, what I know is that each of us has within us already the ability to rise above. And so I speak this word for letting go. I speak this word for forgiveness. And as I speak that word, right after that is that thought of speaking the word so that we may forgive to live, so that we may thrive. That is what I claim for us. Thriving, aliveness, joy, peace. We are eternal, spiritual beings, bringing that to this earthly experience. And so I speak that word, knowing that today, as we walk the path of forgiveness, it becomes easier and easier. I'm grateful to remember, I'm grateful to know, I'm grateful to speak this word. And so with gratitude, I release this prayer into the spiritual law that knows exactly what to do next. And so I just let go and I let God. And join me in saying, and so